Hello again, all you fine people out there. Welcome to the program. It is so good to see you all again, and I hope the day is finding you well and in good spirits. So in this episode, we're going to have a little look-see at a movie that I've enjoyed for many a year, and I think it deserves a little time in the spotlight, the 1982 comedy classic gem, Night Shift.
Love brokers! You and me, buddy!
Night Shift is a laugh-out-loud, riotous good time from start to finish, starring longtime actor Henry WInkler, who plays a former stockbroker turned morgue attendant who's forced to team up with a wisecracking idea man played by legendary actor and one of my personal favorites, the great Michael Keaton, in his very first starring role in a major motion picture. It also stars Shelly Long, who some of you may recognize as Diane from Cheers, and that's pretty much it. And it was directed by the lovable Ron Howard, which must have been quite humorous for the cast and crew to see Richie Cunningham ordering Fonzie around. And so before we begin, folks, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get into it. The movie begins on the seedy streets of New York, where some ladies of the evening are on display. And then we see this well-to-do gentleman being chased down a side alley, and by Richard Belzer of all people. Making his way to his apartment, the man is quickly greeted by Belzer and his associate, and things don't go too well from there.
I'm getting ready to dunk on you, homie.
Man, you couldn't dunk donuts.
Hey, Dollar,
You got it.
step aside, chump. Pay up, sucker.
We then go to the city morgue, where we see Shelley Long's character, a working girl named Belinda, who has to identify the corpse of her pimp.
You recognize this man as Franklin Delano Roosevelt Jones?
Yes.
What was your relationship with the deceased?
He was my Avon lady.
She then soon recognizes Chuck, the morgue attendant, played by Winkler, but Chuck's like, no, you don't know me, nope. And then later, Chuck learns that he's going to be moved to the night shift and he'll be working with a new employee. Chuck then swings by his fiance's place, and then he heads home where he's greeted by the neighbor's friendly dog. The next day, Chuck heads to work and meets the new guy, Billy Blazejowski, played by Keaton.
Hi. How you doing? I'm Bill Blazejowski. You call me Billy Blaze. You must be Chuck, right? Nice shoes.
And Chuck shows Billy the ropes. And Billy is just overjoyed.
That guy's dead.
On his night off, Chuck's trying to score, but his neighbor is just killing the mood.
Chuck. It's just a little loud music.
So Chuck has a friendly chat with this happy fellow, and then he learns that Belinda is his neighbor.
Luke, why don't you go back inside? I'll be right in. Okay? Go play with your rope.
Back at work, Bill and Chuck get better acquainted.
What if you mix mayonnaise right in the can with the tuna fish? Hold it. Wait a minute, Chuck. Take live tuna fish and feed him mayonnaise. Oh, this is good. Call Starkist.
And just then, they're joined by the ruggedly handsome Clint Howard, who hires Billy to chauffeur him and his prom date in a hearse.
And you're gonna take one of the morgue vehicles?
Yeah, it's a limo, ain't it?
It's a limo for dead people. Did you see that kid?
The next day, Billy regales Chuck with the tale of his Atlantic City weekend.
Anyway, I'm sitting there and I'm playing blackjack, right? They bar me. I'm out. I'm barred. I can't get in now, right? You know why? Being too good a player.
But Chuck finally loses it and snaps on Billy.
Would you please shut up?
You telling me to shut up?
I'm telling you to shut up. I will tell your recorder so that you don't forget. Hello, this is Chuck to remind Bill to shut up.
Chuck then apologizes and they soon make up. Chuck then returns home to find Belinda in the elevator after getting roughed up by a client.
Oh, my God.
Oh, hi, Chuck.
What happened? Did you fall down? Did somebody hit you?
It's the other way around. Somebody hit me and then I fell down.
And then after a misunderstanding with the neighbor kids, Chuck gets his ass kicked by Shannon Doherty? Huh.
No, I need your handkerchief.
Inside her apartment, Belinda nurses Chuck back to health, and the two discuss the downsides of prostitution.
I wouldn't do it with the guy until he paid me. So, he beat me up. That's what happens when you don't have a pimp. Some guys figure, why should they pay?
Chuck then talks to Billy about Belinda's troubles, and Billy thinks that he's got the answer.
Wait a minute. Hold the phone, Chuck. We got all that space down at the morgue. All those cars, all that time at night, nobody watching us. We could handle things for your next door neighbor and all her girlfriends right out of the morgue.
Later, Chuck gets a visit from Belinda, who offers to make him breakfast.
You know, we could do this every morning. At least until you get tired of eggs.
Boy, it is hot in here.
Later on, Billy tries convincing Chuck to go in on his little pimping scheme.
Immoral? What do you mean immoral? As a matter of fact, prostitution is probably one of the most moral things in the world.
Chuck is then enjoying Thanksgiving dinner with his mom and his fiance's fun-loving parents.
So, how do you like our fair city?
Oh, we don't.
Well, perhaps if you drank, you would.
But then he gets a call from Belinda to bail her out of jail.
Why are you friends with that girl?
She's my neighbor. She happens to be a very nice girl.
Oh, she's a harlot.
Now, wait a minute.
You stay out of it. Don't worry, Mr. and Mrs. Kugel. I straightened out Al, and together we'll all straighten out Chuck.
And that's when Chuck kind of realizes that his life isn't really going the way he'd like, and so he visits Bill to go in on his little scheme.
Hey, my bud. I have to talk to you something very important.
Come on in. How'd you get in, Chuck? This is a security building. I'm gonna have to talk to that guy.
The next day, Billy holds a meeting with Belinda and her friends where they come to an arrangement.
How would you ladies like to earn 10 times the amount of money you earn now? I'm not kidding. 10 times the amount of money that you earn right now.
Yeah, are we gonna do that? We're all yours, Chuck.
And very quickly, business is booming, and Chuck and Billy are up to their eyeballs in cash.
That kind of love on this kind of night.
But for some reason, Chuck seems to be having a little trouble adjusting to his new career as a flush peddler.
As we sit here and idly chat, there are women, female human beings, rolling around in strange beds with strange men, and we are making money from that.
Is this a great country or what?
Chuck arrives at work the next night and gets caught up in a crazy-ass frat party happening in the morgue. And if you look real closely, you may just find a young, pre-famed Kevin Costner partying it up. Later, Billy shows off his new car to Chuck with all of its sweet extra features.
Solid gold. Look at this carpeting, fur. Check out these windows.
Glass?
Glass, yeah. But we can see out, and nobody can see in. Watch. Oh, watch. Okay, here we go. Hey, yo! Right here! Right here, buddy! Hey, look at this! We got teenage girls! The place is full of brides in here!
Chuck then takes the ladies to a burger joint, and he informs them that they are the new owners of the establishment.
I am very pleased to announce to each and every one of you that you are the proud owner of this particular burger steak.
What?
Remember, sign your contracts. Sign them.
Meanwhile, Belzer and his buddy are trying to figure out who's been interfering on their turf. At the company Christmas party, the ladies express their appreciation to Chuck and Billy.
You take us off the city streets and give us nicer men's to meets. We have furs and jewels and nicer dresses to wear, and we even go to Vital Sassoons to fix up our hair. We moved to nice apartment houses instead of living with the ratones and the mouses. Because of you, our joy is jumping. Because we at this party instead of humping.
And in the wee hours, we get to see a sadder side of Billy.
Then when I was 13, he left. He's out of there. He's gone. History, right? Told me and my mom we were too ugly to look at. In my case, he was wrong.
Oh, Bill.
Chuck then takes Billy and Belinda to the cemetery to show them what he spent his money on.
Your father?
He used to have the smallest stone in the whole place. Not anymore.
Afterwards, things get a little steamy between Chuck and Belinda.
As an intelligent consumer, I wanted to compare Atari asteroids with other companies' asteroids. But other companies don't make asteroids. I wanted to compare Atari Missile Command with other companies' missile commands. But other companies don't make that either. Finally, I wanted to compare the new Atari Warlords. Unfortunately, other companies don't make it. When it comes to the video games the world wants most, nobody compares to Atari.
At work, Chuck has an unusual amount of pep in his step, but is quickly dismayed when he learns that Belinda is still going to keep her job, despite the fact that they're now kind of a somewhat sort of couple.
How can I quit?
Very simply, you open your mouth and you say, Bill, Chuck, I quit.
Okay.
But Horan is all Belinda knows, so what's a girl gonna do?
No, I mean it, Chuck. Where do I go from there?
A sullen Chuck sits alone while his girlfriend is out banging some random dude.
City morgue. Somebody died. Who cares?
And if things weren't bad enough, Belzer and his pal pay him a visit.
Hi.
I wish they put us back on Vice.
Check, please.
At the club, Billy's dumbass tries to hook up a couple of undercover cops with some of the ladies.
You know, I noticed you guys were unencumbered by female companionship. Yeah? So how'd you like to get encumbered?
Get ready to fill them up. Yeah. This is to make some holes so the water comes out. Yeah.
But luckily, Billy's stupidity ended up saving Chuck's life.
Ow. Party's over, numbnuts.
And you blew it, man!
And then it's off to jail for Chuck and Billy.
Leave.
And then Chuck gets a visit from his ex-fiancée, and that goes fairly well.
Goodbye, Chuck.
And like angels from heaven, the ladies arrive and bail Chuck and Billy out of jail. Paying a visit to their lawyer, he informs Chuck and Billy that certain individuals in higher power would like to have the whole situation swept under the rug, and Chuck and Billy won't be going to jail.
They find the whole situation rather embarrassing. Therefore, it would be in the best interest of all concerned if they just gave you boys your jobs back and forgot the whole thing.
So naturally, Chuck is good with that deal, but Billy has other ideas.
We got him over the barrel. As long as we do. I said we get something out of it.
And Chuck is just not having it.
Chuck, I'm wearing white. Crazy. Get away from the door. Jack, I don't listen to you. You're not going to see the mayor. You're not going to make any demands, or I'm going to kill you.
At his apartment, Chuck runs into Belinda, where she tells him that she's going to be moving, and the two say their goodbyes. But when Vincent Schiavelli delivers him a wrong sandwich, Chuck finally says no more and grows a backbone.
You listen to me? Take it easy. You listen to me. I will never again eat a sandwich I did not order. I am sick and tired of being afraid. Bad jobs, bad sandwiches, neurotic girlfriends. No longer for this man. Do you understand? You! Go home! And you, go clean off my door.
Sorry.
Meanwhile, Billy is hard at work at his new job while Chuck arrives to find Belinda. Because he's in love, and if he has to share her with every other man in New York, then so be it.
You were waiting for me to say something. Actually, you were waiting for me to say I love you, but I didn't have the guts then. Hey, I've got the guts now.
I love you too. Come on, I'll show you how much.
Listen, Slime, you have exactly 3 seconds to take your hands off this particular woman. 1, 2.
Chuck?
Hold on, Chuck. I'm coming, buddy.
And the three of them soon make up, and before long they're back on top and off to their next adventure. But that's another story.
You were kissing! I'm cold! Ooh, here you go, thanks. Hey, Chuck, here you go. Microwave clothing. Listen to this. Yeah. That way you can stay warm and bake a potato when you're peeing. I think you can do better than that.
You know, if you were to look up the greatest comedy films of all time, there's a really good chance you won't find Night Shift anywhere on the list. But that's not to say that it's not a wildly entertaining, fun, good time that's good for a few laughs and some time well spent. And I find it to be a pretty decent launching point for Michael Keaton's career. In fact, you could say that if it wasn't for Night Shift, he may have never been cast in the hugely successful Mr. Mom or any other subsequent roles after that. In fact, you could say that if it wasn't for Night Shift, Michael Keaton may have never had the chance to play Batman. I also particularly enjoyed Henry WInkler's performance in this, which was a total 180 from the usually cool and macho Fonzie that we're so used to seeing.
All right, Ann Louise, your prize is coming. Hey!
And so for that, I give props. Now on Rotten Tomatoes, they gave it 93%, and it grossed over $21 million at the box office, which in 1982 was like, a gajillion dollars, so. But all in all, I quite enjoy this film, and I hope that some of you out there may also consider it to be a real gem. So until next time, folks, this is me to you, reminding you that with great power comes great responsibility, and always keep it real. Bye-bye.